Hey, y'all. It is a new month and a new topic. This month, we are talking about embracing self care. And we are going to start this out with the evolution of self care, the journey of self care, if you will. And, honestly, I think that I personally have had a big evolution in my own self care. I used to think that self care was all, baths and buying yourself flowers and going out to eat and treating yourself and pampering yourself, getting your nails done, all of that. Maybe that wasn't your thing, but that was definitely my thing. And I thought that if I was doing that, that was good self care. Now, it's a yes and doing those things, if those are things that you enjoy, is absolutely self care. And we get to prioritize things that we love, things that make us feel good, things that we want to do. And yet, that's only one tiny piece of self care. There's so much more to it. There is mental self care, taking care of our physical bodies. There is emotional self care. There is the kind of nitty gritty self care that we don't really want to do, but we know that it makes us feel so much better when we do it. All of those things are self care, even though they might not be as glamorous or as glorious as getting into a big clawfoot bathtub that's piled high with bubbles and your favorite drink and a book to read. Instead, it's things like prioritizing your mental health, taking your medications on time every day to make sure that your body has what it needs to be successful. It's things like going to therapy when you're having an emotional challenge, or perhaps finding a support group or a circle of friends that can help you when you're going through a challenging time. Self care is also cleaning the house and taking a shower and brushing our teeth and preparing our meals so that we don't always eat fast food for lunch. Something that I am notoriously bad about is getting to about now in the day, in the late afternoon, and being so hungry that I would rather just stop and pick something up than eat the nutritious food that I have at home. And so for me, self care is planning out my meals. It's making sure that I begin the morning with a healthy breakfast, even though I'm not a breakfast person, because I know that that's going to set me up for success for the rest of the day in my eating. Self care is moving your body in a way that feels good to you. And sometimes self care is resting. Actually, I would say in our busy as a status symbol society, resting as self care is a top priority. And so, all of these things, the totality of the way that we take care of ourselves, encompasses self care. It's not one simple act. It's not something that we can put onto our schedule, every other Tuesday at 2 for 30 minutes and then be like, check. It's not something we get to just check off our list, but rather it is this ongoing process of learning about ourselves, learning what we need, what our physical body needs, our mental health needs, what our emotions need, what our spiritual practice needs, who we are in the world needs, what all of these different aspects of ourself need, and then loving ourself enough to prioritize our own needs above everything else, above other people's wants and desires, above expectations, above the fun of, going out and doing something, when really what we know that we need is our body needs rest. I have to admit that in my early 20s, I'm an Enneagram 7. If anybody knows what that means, it means I am all about the fun, y'all. But in my early 20s, I always was like, I don't understand people that say they have to stay home and clean their house or prepare their food instead of going out. If there is an opportunity to go out, I am going to take it. But now I get it. I get that sometimes the more beneficial thing to do is to stay home and clean the house, or to stay home and prepare meals, because even though it might not quite be as much fun in that moment, it's going to set me up for a whole week of having a more fun, happy, peaceful, content life by skipping that 1 2 hour event that may or may not have been fun. And so we get to prioritize our self care. Our needs get to come first over everybody else's wants, expectations, even over our own wants and expectations. If you know me at all, you know that I injured my knee just over a month ago. And so I have not been able to move my body in the way that I would enjoy moving it usually. I have had to be very careful around stairs and even curbs and things like that. I can't just go do everything that I want to do. I danced to 3 songs on Saturday and I'm still feeling it today, 4 days later. And so for me, self care is being gentle with my physical body right now, loving up that knee, giving it the extra attention that it needs, going to the doctor, getting an MRI. All of those things are things that I do not want to do. And yet they are what my body is needing right now for self care. I love this topic. I think it's something that we're kind of all on the cutting edge of, because I don't think that self-care is prioritized in our society, and yet it is so necessary. So I hope you join us on this journey. Come join us at Celebration Center on Sunday by our live stream, or come in person if you live nearby. And I'll be back next week with more thoughts on self-care right here. Love you all.